Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Rick and Morty Jer. I think Jer. Alright, if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sorry, but it's like, alright, let's see how this, I don't want that to go up. Sorry, looking at weird buttons on there. So, this was into A storyline and B storyline. If you would be confused of which one to put precedence on, I wouldn't blame you because they both feel kind of half-baked a little bit and just kind of mushed together. I still had enjoyment out of it. This wasn't really like the worst episode of Rick and Morty that I had watched, but it's still very far from the best. So, our two stories are Morty is going on to visit Snowball, the dog, for like a weekend or whatnot, just to see what's kind of going on with him. And the other one is that Jerry somehow got an interview and that he is worried, and that Space Beth has these like worry worms that you can like eat and like they'll fuck over your worries. And it's like, all right, let's see where this goes. And this is a prime example of over-escalating things. I mean, the Morty one gets over-escalated as well to a degree, but it's very much more prevalent in Jerry's case because it just goes on and on. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? So let's hit the Jerry one first because he's worried about it. He decides to take a lot more worms than should be, and he's zen as shit. He's able to pretty much get the dude to be like, oh, sure, all right, and as an advertising guy trying to go for this nip-slip vodka kind of thing. It's like, all right, you're going to come with me to this dinner and try and get this account kind of thing. It's like, all right, let's see how that kind of goes. He goes back home. They see that he's got a lot of worms, and it's like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? We go to Space Beth's worm dealer. It's like, oh, you want to go in on the dude since it's like a breeding ground and everything, and then calls in her security forces where we get a small little action scene as they're like, oh, you told us to come in here with a gun emoji? As they're fighting, kill the dealer and everything like that, and Rick's actually kind of thinking about utilizing Jerry for that kind of thing of like, oh shit. It's just like, all right, but he is able to pretty much get away. Let's see. Yeah. So he's pretty much there, erasing his worries and causing the worms to look for a new host before Rick can like contain them. So he's pretty much making everybody else feel kind of crazy. He's able to pretty much get to the dinner. Is just pretty much causing cringe-ass kind of scenarios to get people worried or anxious or whatnot because of how many worms are in there and how much they've already, like, absorbed all of, like, Jerry's worries. And then him just getting the boss's wife who's pregnant, getting a plane, bashing and pretty much crashing the plane, delivering the baby as they're going to name the baby Jerry as well. Get to this water tower, and he's like burping up the worms and stuff as those guys are pretty much eating the worms as well before they get there, contain the whole kind of thing, and the worries are kind of going after Rick because it's like, oh god, he's worried that Jerry's got a job now. It's like, all right, and he's able to contain everything and then links it back up with Morty's and says that this will be fine as long as you give Jerry this job to like get through with this. The stinger at the end is that Jerry has this account dealing with the worm people on certain kind of shit. It's like, all right, he just sits there and does almost remote kind of work in an office. It's like, yeah, all right. Morty is with Snowball and sees that Snowball has pretty much taken the lessons that he's learned from humans and is doing that to humans, pretty much. We got Mups. Let me see. Yeah, Mups. Of course, Snowball is like, why are you judging me? Why are you judging me? You're doing the same shit that you do to dogs. It's like, yeah, this is like, I liked the bringing of that up of like, we shouldn't do this to dogs either, man. This is really fucked up as we see them doing the breeding and stuff for it, and where it's like, oh fucking shit. We see that like things are kind of going gnarly on the dog world, and then Morty's like, listen, I'm just gonna go. We don't need to like make a problem or deal out of this, a big deal out of this. Let's just let me go. And he's like, oh, fine. You're acting like a whole dick and call it like thinking I'm a bigot and all that kind of shit. It's like, you're genetically modifying living animals like you didn't like to be dealt with before. It's like, you didn't learn the fucking shit. And then Morty gets pretty much roped in, and him bringing up whole dances with wolves of being pretty much brought into the thing. I'm like, this isn't my problem. I'm trying to stay out of this. Even though he pretty much starts taking on and getting like the dog power suits and like trying to make an effective fighting force, but mainly just to get his own way out. But the thing is, it's showing that Morty's got Rick stuff that's rubbing off on him, because the thing is, he pretty much put the dogs here and let this scenario work out this way, so yes, it is part of your problem, asshole. Deal with it. But then we see that, like, Rick kind of pops up, uses the worms to pretty much calm everybody's ass down. Morty and Snowball pretty much hid out in this kind of, like, panic room bunker because everything was pretty much going to shit, because the Mups couldn't really be turned into an effective fighting force, and the dogs were pretty much getting their asses pushed in, too. So it was like, everybody fucking everybody else over. It's like, alright. Yeah, and that's about it. So we've got... Nope, what are you doing? 5 more episodes left. It happens that, like, there's certain episodes in a season that just don't really jive with you, and that's happened with me with Rick and Morty, but overall, I still like seeing what they do, animation style-wise, how it kind of evolves throughout the seasons, and what other kind of stories happen, and just because some things don't hit for me doesn't mean that the season is a complete and overall wash. It's more down to what they're attempting to do. The escalation for pretty much both of these went kind of like, holy fucking shit. You kind of have to pace it, whereas this was just like, boof. And especially Jerry's, where there's really wasn't that much to begin with. And then we're like, yeah, let's kind of go, poof. It was like, all right, I kind of needed a little bit more of a ramp for that, but whatever. And Morty's was just there. I think it would have been better if it was on its own to kind of like dig into the more meaty kind of bits of why Snowball was doing this. Morty trying to maybe recognize that he's picking up some stuff from Rick and trying to be like, I just want to stay out of this, but yet still getting involved in the whole fucking thing, but yet he should have been involved in it, because, I mean, you let the dogs do this kind of shit. And it's like, you gotta kind of check in with this. It's like, I'm not saying that he's completely responsible, but, Snowball was his dog, and we get this whole kind of bit, and Snowball's got fucking hang-ups because of how Morty and Rick dealt with these kind of situations before, so it's like, you could say you want to stay out of it as much as possible and try and curry Rick's favor on that, but it's like, you also wanted to come here for like a weekend. So, I don't mind it. It's just kind of there. It's pretty much what I've got to say about it. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.